Sound advice to keep your body and mind in perfect harmony. You're tuned in to The Dr. Stephen Show. Now, here is Dr. Stephen Eisenberg.
Thank you, and welcome to The Dr. Stephen Show. We have an incredible guest today. I'm a doctor. I work in hospitals. We interact with dietitians. I happen to have the best dietitian in the world here today, Dietitian Cassie. Yes, Dietitian Cassie founded Healthy Simple Life. She's transforming the way we use whole foods, real food, to change the way we eat. It's not about diets, according to Cassie. We're going to learn about that today. It's not about the diet. It's about the food, real food. She wrote a book, Why Am I Still Fat? I want to know, Cassie, why am I still fat? Why am I still fat, Cassie? Help me, Cassie. We'll be right back, where Cassie will tell me why I'm still fat, and then she's going to help me transform it so I'm no longer fat. So, come back. We'll be seeing you in a minute on The Dr. Stephen Show with Dietitian Cassie.
Because you need to know.
Because you need to learn.
Because financial planning can be complicated.
There's wealthEd.com.
WealthEd.com.
The site dedicated to educating you about financial planning.
With guidance from experienced financial planners.
Helping you learn more about creating your financial plan.
Watch Bucket Strategy Investing, presented by Lucia Capital Group, every day at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Or watch archived features from the show on demand.
Learn more about options for your benefits on the Social Security Show every Tuesday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific.
Lucia Capital Group brings you Bucket Strategy Live, Wednesday evenings at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
And learn more about the challenges women deal with on Femme Finance, Thursday afternoons at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific.
It's the site where understanding financial planning can start to click.
Click on wealthed.com.
Live programs, on-demand archived features, and articles.
Go to wealthed.com.
Wealthed.com.
And we're back with Dietitian Cassie on the Dr. Stephen Show. Cassie, Dietitian Cassie, RDLD, author of Why Am I Still Fat, the international bestseller. Why am I still fat? What's the deal with fat?
Well, you're not fat, but why am I still fat is the title, because that is the most emotionally charged, frustrating question that our clients come to us asking themselves. After trying every diet, pill, potion on the planet, they find themselves back where they started, in the same place, asking, why am I still fat?
I bet people Google that a lot.
They do.
Why
and
am
now
I
they
still
find my book.
Yes, yes, it is, and I love that it's the hidden keys to unlocking that stubborn weight loss. And it is stubborn, right?
It's stubborn, and they are hidden because we're told it's all about calories. Burn more calories than you take in, and you'll lose weight. And the problem is, this hasn't worked for a lot of people. And if it does work, it's short term. But what we want is long-term results. And that's what we help our clients do in our one-on-one coaching programs. We help them heal from the inside out and address these factors that I've outlined in my book.
Yeah, now, can you talk about a little bit about that whole controversy with The Biggest Loser? Didn't everyone gain their weight back? Because it's not just about some fad diet, right?
And no one has time to exercise all day. Exercise can be really effective when it comes to weight loss, but there's not a single study that shows that just exercising is what leads to long-term weight loss. So the problem with, The Biggest Losers, it's more of a Band-Aid approach. And we don't want just to slap a Band-Aid on the problem. Mm-hmm. We want to actually find out what it is and heal our body and our metabolism from the inside out.
Yes. Now, speaking of metabolism, I have a question for you. Now, I was thin as a rail my whole life, like twig, I was like this, but then the fro. So I was like, a lot of people would call me, Twiggy. So what's the deal with my metabolism now? Like all of a sudden I hit 40 and it's like, hey, I'm Pillsbury Man now. It's like, what is metabolism the whole answer, or it's just a little part of it?
Well, you know, there are a lot of factors that impact metabolism, and what's funny is what you just mentioned is when I'm doing a speaking event and I ask, you know, when you think of metabolism, what do you think of? Everyone yells age, or they yell slow, which is, you know, what kind of is associated with age, is your metabolism slows down. But really, that's the only factor that impacts metabolism that's not controllable. You know, all of the other factors like our sleep and our stress levels and our hormones and our thyroid function and our gut health and our level of inflammation, all of these different factors are aspects that we actually have control over. The food that we're eating, I'm a dietitian, how can I not talk about that, right?
Yeah.
The food that we're eating impacts our metabolism, and what we're eating is either, you know, stoking or smoking our metabolism.
Okay, so yes, you're a dietitian. And like I said in the intro, it's not, you know, you're not the typical dietitian that I see in the hospital that, you know, no offense to other dietitians, but I see a lot of Boost and Ensure Plus
right.
In the hospitals. But what's your journey about? Like, how did you go from I'm a regular old dietitian to now I'm Dietitian Cassie? Like,
I wish
you know?
it happened that fast, right? Overnight. It was quite a journey, though. I'm glad you used the word journey. And at one point, you know, it's a little hard for me to say, but I was that dietitian in that hospital setting. I was working clinical for a while, recommending Ensure and Boost because, you know, we're told these are full of vitamins and minerals and they're healthy calories, but the problem is now I consider them to be fake food. There are a lot of things in there that can cause inflammation, which slows down our metabolism. So to back up, the wake-up moment for me was when I was in dietitian school and I snuck just a couple cookies from my roommate and I ended up eating the entire container. Before I knew it, all 12 were gone.
Oh my God, I can relate.
Can you?
Yeah.
Well, I bring that up because the whole
Thin Mints.
yes, you try to eat one and you just can't stop.
No, the entire sleeve.
I hear you. I used to do that too.
My sister used to go like, "Are you having a whole sleeve?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sorry, whole sleeve."
Well, and some people can stop at just one, and I never understood how they could do that.
Yeah.
And the problem was, you know, I was following all of the rules when I was in dietitian school. So it didn't make any sense to me that I had, you know, I was constantly thinking about food and sugar. And to tell you the truth, I mean, that moment where I ate the whole container of cookies was just one of many. And I can't tell you the number of times I tried to start over, do a sugar detox, you know, start clean the next day, only to wind up back where I started. And that was when I was, you know, doing all these things that I thought were right, like eating low fat, eating low calorie, following the food pyramid where at the foundation we've got grains and cereal and granola bars and, you know, pasta and rice.
Yeah.
And it just didn't make any sense to me because I was gaining weight even though I was working out all the time and eating what I thought were all the right foods. And my energy levels were at an all-time low, and sugar was always on my mind. So I was trying to process through that. And then something else happened that really put me over the edge.
What?
When I was in my last year of dietitian school, I got a phone call saying that my father had to undergo major heart surgery, unexpected. And that's when things got really personal for me.
Yeah.
Because my dad was the epitome of health. He wasn't overweight, he didn't drink, he didn't smoke. Just like me, he was following a low-calorie, low-fat. Yes, he was running a race when he got the tightness in his chest. And that just didn't make any sense to me. So I remember feeling just so hopeless and so frustrated, thinking that this is, you know, he was doing all these right things, and he ended up on the operating table. And then after his surgery, the doctor and the dietitian told him, keep doing what you're doing. Keep eating a low-fat, low-calorie diet.
It wasn't the key.
That's when I got angry. I said, that's what ended him on your operating table. So that's when I started diving, you know, really deep into the research, trying to find out why this diet that I was taught in dietitian school wasn't working for me and wasn't working for my dad either.
That's so personal. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you really took it on.
I
did.
did.
You know, it's almost like you did. You took a stand and said, you know, everything we're taught always just isn't the be-all, end-all. I'm going to go deeper.
Yeah, it is.
And that's what led to this eventual...
That's what led to that, because now
rev up your metabolism, boost your energy, cut cravings, increase productivity, and drop the pounds forever. It's stubborn. So you have a lot of patients who are having the stubborn issues, like the normal stuff is just not cutting it.
Well, we have a lot of clients who, kind of like me, they thought they were doing all the right things, but they're not seeing results. So they're just, they don't understand. And you know what happens then is they feel like something is wrong with them. I asked myself so many times when I was in school to be a dietitian, what's wrong with me? I must just be flawed. And it wasn't me that was flawed. It was the advice that I was given. Same with all of the failed dieters of the world. They follow this advice that we're told, and they're told, well, you must just not actually be doing it.
They make themselves wrong.
Right.
I suck at losing weight.
And that's not
I just
it.
can't do
We
it.
haven't been given the full picture.
When we come back, I want to know what the full picture is. When we come back, we're going to delve into the hidden keys blocking you to get rid of that stubborn weight with Dietitian Cassie and Why Am I Still Fat? We'll be right back, and we're going to get those keys with the woman herself, Dietitian Cassie. Come right back for those hidden keys. We'll see you in a minute.
It's the site where understanding investing starts to click. Click on wealthed.com, educating you about financial planning and answering your most important questions with live interactive shows hosted by experienced financial strategists and an on-demand library of videos and articles you can access anytime for free. Wealthed.com brings you retirement planning guidance, social security strategies, tax management techniques, portfolio allocation options, and more. Your source for information and financial education, online, on demand, on wealthed.com.
And we're back on the Dr. Stephen Show with Dietitian Cassie, HealthySimpleLife.com. Go there to learn everything you wanted to know about losing weight, but we're afraid to ask. It's about real food, right? I mean, can we get into some of these hidden keys? Because
Sure.
I think my weight loss is stubborn. I think I'm your ideal client because people look at me and they're like, you're not fat. But then I'm told that I'm tofu, this thin outside, fat inside. Have you heard of this? And so I think I really need to go on the Dietitian Cassie program because it's stubborn. It's just like, look, I mean, can you zoom in on this here? Can we get a tight shot of the fat? Okay, maybe not. But it's no accident that they call me Pillsbury Doughboy. I'm just like, you know? So
well, what you could be referring to is inflammation, where even though we can look really healthy on the outside, if our insides are inflamed, there can still be a lot of health issues. And as you know, I mean, that leads to all sorts of disease.
But I take turmeric. I mean, let's talk about supplements. What are some of the hidden keys? I know that you love certain supplements and that they've got to be super high quality, because their FDA doesn't regulate them, and you can find really not the best quality supplements. I wanted to say something else, but I didn't. Good. You know what I'm saying.
Keep it PG, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and the problem, that is really, really heartbreaking. A lot of people, I mean, the reason we take supplements is to bring us closer to our goals and improve our health. And we see with a lot of clients when they come in, they're taking supplements that are actually harming their health because, like you said, I'm so glad you said that, the FDA doesn't regulate supplements. They're unregulated, so they can put whatever they want in the bottle and it doesn't have to match the label. So quality really, really matters because when I say that, supplements can be really effective when you're taking the right ones.
Right.
But my stance is don't take any unless they're high quality.
Yeah.
And that's actually why I formulated my own supplement line, because I couldn't find any out there that met all of my standards.
Yes.
So ours are third-party regulated. They're coming in and making sure we have the finest ingredients in our products, and that's really important to me.
And what should I take? Like, I know turmeric is good for inflammation, and but you know, there's different types of turmeric. There's different. What should a guy like me, 45, pudgy? I work out, you know, but hey, I work out. But what I mean is, you know, what are like the Dietitian Cassie stamp of approval, pa-ching, pa-choom?
Yeah.
Like,
I think the best supplements for
yes.
inflammation would be fish oil, you know, EPA and DHA mixed, and then also glutamine. L-glutamine is one of my favorite supplements because it also helps with sugar cravings. But the way it helps with weight loss and inflammation is it helps to reduce inflammation in the thin lining of your digestive tract. And then probiotics are also really great. That's one of my main recommendations for supplements. Of course, though, with all of these, you'd want to get quality because if you're getting fish oil from dead fish or probiotics that are dead, it's not going to help.
Yeah, so how can... and everyone who's watching right now, how can they, you know, ensure that they're How can they ensure that they're getting quality? I mean, if they just go to their, you know, if they just go to Walmart and go, okay, weight loss. It says weight loss on the label, Dietitian Cassie.
Yeah, well, even places like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's where people think they have high-quality supplements, they don't. They're not regulated. The term you want to look for is pharmaceutical grade.
Okay.
Pharmaceutical grade. And then the catch, the kind of frustrating thing is you have to get those through a licensed healthcare professional. And they actually work. Those are the highest quality of all. So you're not going to find those at any of the stores.
So it might be working with someone like you.
Yeah.
And then really honing in and having personalized supplements, maybe with blood work, and I know.
And that's the best way to do it, is to get individualized recommendations. There's a lot of great general recommendations out there, but you want to find out what works best for you because you're so different. You're such a unique snowflake.
Me?
Yes.
Me? I'm unique?
You are.
I thought I was just like, every other dude out there.
Every other Dr. Steven, right?
Every other Dr. Steven show. But, okay, so let me be your guinea pig.
All right.
Okay, all right, so, what should I be eating? What should I be eating? I mean, right now I wake up, I have like a cup of coffee, and I put a scoop of,
Don't say Ensure.
No.
Okay, good.
Like I put a scoop of vegetarian protein in it.
Okay.
And I'll scoop it up and have like a mocha. But that's like my whole breakfast.
Do you have any fat at breakfast? I think fat is one of the biggest misconceptions. We've been told for so long that fat is our enemy and fat makes us fat, but healthy fat is actually good for your metabolism and for weight loss.
Like an avocado.
Yeah, yeah. Or even, if you're not sensitive to dairy, which I'm not sure if you are, but heavy cream could be a good option putting in your coffee.
Did you hear that, honey?
Heavy cream.
No, dairy.
No dairy, okay.
No, dairy. My wife would say, no, keep them away from the dairy.
Keep them away from the dairy.
Keep them away.
How about coconut oil? Could you add a tablespoon or two
home.
of coconut oil? Just mix it in your coffee. It's fantastic.
That's great.
Or coconut milk, if you do like that, with milk in there a little bit better.
I like that. I should add that to the little coffee spiel that I do.
Yeah.
Okay, and then for lunch, the drug reps come in. They bring these fatty foods and lasagnas, and they brought lasagna today, so I just didn't eat lunch. I just had another coffee. And I poured in some Ensure into the coffee.
Didn't.
I'm not kidding. Today I did. I put some. They have this new kind out that's supposed to be healthier. I put a little in there because I didn't have my powder, and that was my lunch.
Well, I'm glad
I didn't
that
want to
you
eat the
skipped
lasagna.
I am glad that you skipped that because that's one of those foods that I think sometimes people think is healthy because it's so high in the grains, but it can actually contribute to weight gain because all the pasta turns into sugar in your body.
Yeah.
And that triggers your fat storing hormone called insulin, and that's actually stored as fat. So the grains are stored as fat, which is sometimes, a newsflash for people because they think that, fat turns into fat in the body, but it's really our carbohydrates and our sugar that does. So could you have a backup, a backup plan for if there's not a healthy lunch available? Could you bring some hard-boiled eggs or some tuna salad or some chicken, something like that, and have it in the fridge?
I could. My wife has tuna packets at home. She makes hard-boiled eggs. And don't get me wrong, I only didn't eat the lasagna because I knew you were coming on the show today.
Well, I'm glad I could be motivation.
Typically I'd be eating that lasagna and going back for seconds. But I'm getting a little bit better. The show is starting to wear on me a little. I'm starting to listen to the guests.
Listen to this guest.
Yes, I'm listening to you. I could bring eggs.
You could. So what you're trying to do here
and I can eat the middle, right? I don't have to not eat the yolk.
That's the best part. The yolk has all the nutrients in it anyway.
Hello,
so
the yolk is okay, right?
Yes, yes.
Right.
So what you're trying to do is get protein, fat, and carbohydrate. It's that perfect PFC balance is what I call it.
PFC.
And that's going to support your energy levels, your focus. You can be super focused on the show. It's going to support weight loss. So protein would be like your eggs or your tuna. And then where would your fat come from? There's a little fat in the egg yolk, but we want some extra.
Avocado.
Avocado, great.
Yeah, ever since I moved to California, I've become a big fan.
There's great avocados
I went from Cheese Whiz on cheesesteaks in Philly to like avocado on everything. That's the one thing that my wife got me into. She's like, you should really try avocado. I think you'll like it. I'm like, but what about the Cheese Whiz?
Well, avocado is one of my favorite healthy fats because you can blend it into smoothies, you can chop it up and put it on salads, you can eat it straight with a spoon out of the shell. It's portable.
So good. So avocado.
So at least half of an avocado.
Can I just bring like coconut oil and just squeeze some into my mouth?
I mean, you could if you're feeling desperate.
Yeah.
That's a great way to do it.
You know how they have like those little things you just squeeze
When I ran
bottles?
marathons, I would put it in Ziploc baggies and squeeze it into my mouth when I was running.
Dinner's my problem.
Yeah.
Dinner and late night snacking are my horrible issues.
Why is dinner a problem?
I tend to eat my kids' leftovers.
Okay.
And they're not always eating the most healthy things.
Is it because you're really hungry when you get home and it's dinner time?
Yep.
So I think if you...
Because I don't really eat. I don't do like intermittent fasting thing.
The intermittent fasting can be tough. It's controversial, and the thing is, it leads to low blood sugar levels, and when your blood sugar levels are low, your brain is really smart, and it knows that you just need sugar. So that's when the vending machine calls your name. That's when you get home, and your kids' leftovers sound so good, because your brain wants the quickest thing it can get.
I'm really hungry when I get home.
So maybe you either add in an afternoon snack, or you actually eat lunch and don't skip it.
A healthy snack, like macadamia nuts.
There you go.
Those are good, right?
Yeah, with a hard-boiled egg, maybe a handful of raisins or some grapes.
You're all about the real food,
Real
huh?
food. Keep it focused on real food. The less processed, the better. Yes.
Anti-inflammatory, real food. Avocados, eggs. I love
Yeah.
this. So
meat, fish, seafood, nuts, seeds, and then real carbohydrates would be your veggies and your fruits.
yeah.
And you said anti-inflammatory, and I think that's an important point because people hear the word inflammation and they think it's just when you stub your toe or get a paper cut.
Yeah.
But that inflammation we're talking about is the kind that festers deep inside from putting things into our body that's inflammatory, like sugar or like my marathon running days. That promoted inflammation, and it's like your body's putting out a fire
running
all day
a marathon,
long.
Remote, just because the impact on the joints and
yes, and you're putting your body through that long, chronic cardio, it can be called, and that drains your metabolism because it's like your body's trying to put out fires all day long inside of you. So the goal is to be putting anti-inflammatory foods into our body and supplements like L-glutamine.
And I think that diet, I think the why am I still fat diet is really good for anti-inflammation, but also anti-cancer. I mean, it's the same thing. Inflammation has been shown to be really a risk factor. Are you? What's your take on gluten-free versus these grains? Everyone's going crazy with the gluten-free.
They are. And I think, for some good reason, a lot of people are sensitive to gluten. And if you're putting something in your body that you're sensitive to, that's going to cause inflammation. But the problem is there are a lot of gluten-free products out there that are still junky. And remember, we want to keep the focus on real food.
Yes.
So if we're eating gluten-free junk, it's really not a heck of a lot better than regular junk. But PFC Balance, focused on real food, is naturally gluten-free.
And we can learn all about this at healthysimplelife.com.
Yes,
and
dietitiancassie.com.
You got the .com. Now, the last thing I want to just get to, the last hidden key. We went over supplements. We went over why I'm still fat. Healthy Simple Life. The late night snack. Can you give me 30 seconds on the late night snack? Why am I sitting there eating Snyder's of Hanover like a zombie watching Breaking Bad reruns? I mean, what's wrong with me, Dietitian Cassie?
I think it's because your blood sugar levels are low, so you want to make sure at dinner you're getting in protein and plenty of healthy fat, at least half of an avocado, or squeeze the coconut oil into your mouth if you have to.
Okay.
Because the thing is, a bedtime snack isn't all bad. We've been told it's a sin for far too long.
Oh yeah, what's the whole deal with I shouldn't eat at bedtime? That's not the truth.
You want to eat at bedtime to support your metabolism because it helps keep your blood sugar levels balanced. And when your blood sugar levels are balanced, you get this awesome hormone called glucagon that burns fat for energy while you're sleeping.
So what should
the bedtime snack
be? Yeah.
Yeah, so fat and carbohydrates. So a half a cup of berries with a little coconut milk on top. I like to saute a small pear in coconut oil on the stove. You could do half a banana with some nut butter. We're just having a little carbohydrate and a little bit of fat. That's the only time we're not doing PFC.
Are you telling me I'm going to be steaming pears with coconut oil? And
if it's too hard, have a handful of nuts and a handful of berries.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Sort of like a
but
caveman.
it's the ice cream
and
the
berries.
cereal and the popcorn that's not going to bring you towards your goals.
But it's not all about the diet. It's not about the diet. It's not paleo versus vegan versus pegan versus pogan versus pogo stick diet, right? I mean,
the problem is it's not all one size fits all. So a lot of these diets have really great aspects to them, but we want to individualize. You've got to learn to listen to your body and find out what works for you.
And that's what you do with your clients?
That's why our coaching program is so successful because we take this personal consultative approach.
Will you be my personal dietitian?
I could be your personal dietitian. Will you
For
listen
real?
to me?
I will.
Then I think we have a deal.
Can you come back on the show after we've been doing the Dietitian Cassie program, I'll call it. I won't call it diet because it's not just a diet.
Right.
It's a whole way of being.
It's looking at the full picture of your metabolism and health. Yes.
Would you come back after we start working together and we can sort of measure my fat levels? And because I think you've just hit the nail on the head today, Cassie.
Thank you.
Dietitian Cassie, at Dietitian Cassie on Twitter, because it's about unlocking the hidden keys for your individual stubborn weight loss. It's not one size fits all, people. It's about what's best for you. And do you also take into like the psychosocial factors? And,
the emotional aspects, the mental aspects. Yeah, there's so many pieces of the puzzle, and we get them all into place. We help you do that.
I love it. I love it. Well, I want to thank you for being here today. This was really eye-opening. And again, Dietitian Cassie's book is Why Am I Still Fat? You can find it at dietitiancassie.com and healthysimplelife.com. Thank you. You are just an angel.
Aww.
You're like, I'm going to call you the angel of all dietitians. You just have this
Dr.
glow
Steven.
about you. So thanks for coming.
Thanks for
and
having
I can't
me.
wait to have you back so we can update my eating.
That's a wonderful idea. Let's
Thank
do it.
you.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming this week. And we'll see you next time on The Dr. Steven Show. Bye, everybody.
Because you need to know.
Because you need to learn.
Because financial planning can be complicated.
There's wealthed.com.
Wealthed.com.
The site dedicated to educating you about financial planning.
With guidance from experienced financial planners.
Helping you learn more about creating your financial plan.
Watch Bucket Strategy Investing, presented by Lucia Capital Group, every day at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Or watch archived features from the show on demand.
Learn more about options for your benefits on the Social Security Show every Tuesday afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific.
Lucia Capital Group brings you Bucket Strategy Live, Wednesday evenings at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
And learn more about the challenges women deal with on Femme Finance, Thursday afternoons at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific.
It's the site where understanding financial planning can start to click.
Click on wealthed.com.
Live programs, on-demand archived features and articles.
Go to wealthed.com.
Wealthed.com.